This is my views on the History Channel today. First of all, they got these new episodes going on about the Bible. They run it every Sunday, and it's a series about the Bible. They started out in Genesis with the flood, and then it went to Abraham, and then it went to Isaac, and they left out. They just chopping the Bible up, So today, this is my views on the History Channel, and I'm doing this exclusively for YouTube. And I'd like to get some feedback from anybody who sees my video. I'd like to get some feedback on all my videos, as well as the one I'm doing today on the History Channel. Personally, I've watched the Bible series on there, okay? I've seen all of them up till last night. And I find it I like the way the actors are playing it and representing it, the characters and all. For the ones that they've already done so far, the characters look pretty good. The acting's pretty good. Not the best I've seen, okay? It's not as good as Charlton Heston and several others. Jim Caviezel that did Passion of the Christ that Mel Gibson, quote unquote, directed. It's not as good as it. Okay. Of course, Mel Gibson only went through the Matthew, Mark, Luke, John account of Christ, and he only put in there the temptation that Jesus had in the wilderness. That was there, and of course he went on with he went to Pilate. He went before Pilate, and Pilate said he did what he had to do, and of course it just didn't do nothing for me other than just it betrayed the life of Christ. It started out as him being the carpenter he was in his earlier days, and it showed a little bit of his ministry, and then the temptation in the garden, where he was tempted by the devil. Then it went into where he was tempted in the wilderness, in his wanderings in the wilderness, which was a good acting by Jim Caviezel. Okay, and then it went on to show right there when he was tried by Pilate. I like that part of the Passion of Christ, and then when it went on to where he was crucified on a cross, and then later on resurrected, the third day of resurrection, which all that was real good. I like that. I like the 10 Commandments that Charlton Heston did, being her, and so on and so forth. But anyway, today's topic is on the History Channel, and what I think about the History Channel and their religion, the religion part of the History Channel. Okay, this is my view of it. First of all, getting back to the Bible, the ones that they're doing about the Bible. Okay, excuse me. Gotta have water while I'm talking. It started out, the flood was real good. That was pretty good when First of all, let's go to the first series they did on the Bible. Okay, this on the Sunday History Channel. The first one they did, I felt was real good, but they left out probably half of Genesis, if not 3/4 of it, because they only did the flood. Okay, then they did. I think the next one they did was. I remember them doing was the one about Abraham and Sarah, when she conceived the baby, that she could not conceive the baby out of pure pregnancy, that the seed had to be brought from God, which they portrayed that real good. But they left out, a lot of good stories of Genesis. The one that sticks out to me, they left out Cain killing Abel, or Abel killing Cain. They left that out. They left out some of the garden. They left that out about Adam and Eve, they left out part of that story, you know. Other stories they left out were about the fact that the burning bush, I don't think they put that in there, you know. And then I noticed they left out the Joseph, the coat of many colors. I don't think they put that in there. But then they went on to do Moses, which they did pretty good about Moses. They showed the story of Moses. Pharaoh, for instance, Pharaoh. That story of Pharaoh was pretty good. It didn't show all the plagues, which I was pretty upset about. It only showed some of them, and then then they did the one. I actually thought the best one of Moses they did was when he parted the Red Sea. And he carried the children of the Israelites through the sea. But it also left out the part of Pharaoh being drowned. And in the Bible, if you've read the Bible in Exodus, Pharaoh was drowned. Okay? And it left that out. It showed Moses back there, y'all go in to get him, y'all go in to get him, but then it didn't show him actually dying in the Red Sea. It didn't show him dying, so I felt that kind of crude. I felt that not good. And then it went on, Daniel in the lion's den. It only showed parts of that, which it left out other parts. And then the part where it showed all of Delilah, Samson and Delilah. It did show most of that, which I was proud of that. And the black guy did a really good part in that. The woman that played Delilah, she did pretty good in that. Could have been better, but it was all right. And in other accounts, it only showed half of Daniel's story, okay? And it did show the lions, but it didn't show all of them in the lion's den, okay? Because the Bible said that the soldier that put Daniel in there to begin with is supposed to show his family, his concubines, his friends, and all them going into the lion's den and getting eat up by the lions. And it only showed him going in there and not his whole family and his children and so on and so forth. So they left out a lot of that story, okay? And the three Hebrew children, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, there was a little bit more of them in the fiery furnace that it didn't show, that I was upset about. And then other accounts I noticed, David, you know, the other parts of David, it did show him stealing Uriah's wife, which I was proud of that, but it didn't show everything. It didn't show... Yeah, it did show him killing the giant, slaying the giant, you know, the giant's acting all bad. It did show that, which was good acting for the actors, you know. But other accounts, like, it just didn't show... I wanted the whole 40 years of the Israelites wandering, okay? I didn't see that. I didn't see all the wanderings in the wilderness that I wanted. Such as the, what about the big old rock that they had found? What about Sinai? You know, it didn't show about, the fire and the plague coming on Sinai, Mount Sinai, you know. I didn't see a lot of that. Although they did show the one where they Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, I did show most of Sodom and Gomorrah, which I was happy of, but it left out some of that story. It did show her turning into a pillar of salt, Lot's wife looking back, and she turned into a pillar of salt. It did show that, but it didn't show Lot in the cave with his two daughters. That mankind was destroyed, and the two daughters were supposed to have conceived with Lot, bringing more children back into the world. It did not show that. So I'm upset about the point is, I'm upset about a lot of the stories that the Bible did not show. Although the ending was real good, the life of Christ, they did pretty good at. They show him resurrected and dying on the cross. That was real good. And that where he was going to make the 12 disciples, fishers of men. Well, it only showed one disciple. It didn't show all 12 of them. It also didn't show Peter coming up and denying his faith, and where he didn't show his faith and fell below the sea. It didn't show that. So the point is, they left out half the Bible, okay? They left out a lot of the Bible. And I'm upset at the History Channel for that, okay? Other parts of history, they don't show enough religion to suit me. Although I like the Shroud of Turin. I like the lost stories, lost books of Enoch, lost books of the Bible, the 12 tribes of Israel. I like that. I like the real face of Jesus. But I want to know more. You know, I want to know more. I need to see more from the History Channel. Okay, I need to know about. I want to see a full documentary story on Job. I want to see something on Cain and Abel. I want to see more of Noah's life. I want to see more of Solomon's life. I want to see more of David's life. I'd love to see a little bit more than what they're showing us, you know. So for you history fans out there, I want some feedback on this. Why don't they show more religious stories? What's in the making for the future for history? Are they going to be more math teachers coming out? Are they going to be more fame and fortunists? Or what's happening, you know? So this is my outlook on history, okay? I think there needs to be more religious channels, stories. I would love to see the book of Job revealed, the book of Enoch. I'd like to see more about Enoch than what's revealed, more about the prophets, the disciples. I think they need to make one on the disciples. Nothing but how the disciples lived, when they were born, when they came in existence, when they died. I mean, I want to know more about them, you know. So all my questions haven't been answered. So there's more of my questions need to be answered on the History Channel. And so for history fans, the stories they have, I have no problem with. Don't get me wrong. I love the History Channel. I'm a big follower of the History Channel. I love History H2. I mean, the new history that's coming out. I mean, they're getting better. They're getting better. But I still want to see more on the History Channel. And anyways, I like to know more, you know. That's just my view. Sorry.